Hi, Hive. This is Angel Yvette of Limitless Light. Welcome and thank you for being here. This is a reading for the full moon in Taurus, which will be occurring November 15th. Coming out of this 11/11 portal and all of the energies that have recently been introduced or reintroduced, I decided to go a different way with this. So I'm creating this voiceover and I hope that you enjoy it. It's good to try different things. So for this full moon in Taurus that's occurring on the 15th of November, I asked 3 questions and received 3 answers, or at least 3 responses in the form of 3 cards per question. It was a 9x9 layout, as you see. So I'm going to go into it right now without too much further ado. To begin, I'd like to focus on the leading oracle message. It is consciousness, number 17. Now, 17 is 2 days away from 15, so it's probably pretty potent information to apply and to reflect on for this full moon. The oracle message reads this way: the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. That may be powerful around this full moon in Taurus, or leading up to it, or coming out of it. It may be important to really get an understanding or a greater grasp of all of the options, all of the different abilities that we have individually and collectively to make those things that we desire tangible and actual. So the first question I asked going into the reading is, what does the energy leading up to this event of the full moon in Taurus feel like? And I'm just so moved by the response. The first card is the 7 of Cups. This is again going into that sense of options and wherewithal. The card almost looks like an explosion of a brew that's been being worked on for quite some time. And traditionally, the 7 of Cups is depicted by 7 cups that each contain a certain filling, a certain matter. With this card coming out, it really spoke on, or it really emphasized how it's okay to switch things up, especially if they haven't been working out, especially if you don't feel as passionately about them, especially if you just moved on to something that's more fulfilling for you. In these cases, switching things up may actually be preferred. It's important to recognize that we get to make the final decision of what we divulge our focus and interest into. With that, understand that that in the social reality, there will be potential confliction that we face with settling on a certain interest or desire and how we go about it. Which leads me into the second card, the Emperor reversed, number 4. The energy of this card and in this orientation can convey that of feeling powerless and potentially defeated. This is actually not so surprising with the way that there's been a lot of chaos in our social structure as a community, as a collective energy. It's not the first time things have been in this type of chaos, but maybe in this state. It's because it's a newer experience, especially because it's a newer experience. It is that much more difficult to navigate and to direct our sense of action and duty. This energy is reminding us that we still do hold power, that we are, like I said earlier, we are the final decision makers and where we choose to place our attentions and our focuses and our efforts. In putting these all forward, it is going to be most agreeable to understand that we do embody this power. We do have this sense of ability to make any situation better by staying true to what our desires and what our individual goals are, and our collective goals as well. Honestly, it's sort of like they go hand in hand and you can't have one without the other. If it's not that, then it's definitely an experience of being in a hermetic state. For those unable to resonate with the concept, and there's no shame in that, sometimes recluse is necessary. Sometimes taking a break is healthy. It's just a matter of discerning what aligns to you at this time. For the third card, it's number 21, the World, and it highlights the energy currently being experienced and how it really is on a large scale. It's shared on a large scale. The suggested method from the artwork reminds us that we are strong and possess the ability to grow abundantly and beautifully, no matter how entangled we may feel. Question 2, what is the highlighted energy of this Taurus full moon? And for the fourth card, we got the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups has learned to address and embrace this world with a caring, compassionate heart and carries with her a profound sense of intrigue. This card showing up in this position not only reminds us of the fulfillment that comes from embodying these qualities, but the calm that is able to be experienced as well as a result. Card 5 is the King of Cups. So we have the divine counterparts. They're right alongside each other, 4 and 5. 4 is stability, 5 is change. So maybe in order to embrace that change, which is the Queen of Cups, we need to embody the King of Cups. And the message for the King of Cups is that much like the natural world, the King of Cups shows that experiencing stability accompanies practicing patience and acceptance for the natural flow of the world. The King of Cups reminds us to stay steadfast in our sense of awareness of our physical existence as well as the flow of time. For number 6, we're going to go right into this next card, which is the Hermit. Number 9, it's funny, I just talked on hermetic existence and how that is okay too, and how all these cards are sort of aligning with that. The Hermit Crab reminds us to stand and protect the soft sides of ourself. This may need to be done by congregating within community at this time, along with community at this time. The crab also reminds us to allow for change to happen, as well as allowing ourselves to initiate change as needed. As long as growth is being supported, our spirits, hearts, minds, bodies, and souls need to do what it takes to remain protected. It's pivotal. It's universal. It's universal for individualhood and for collective health, collective balance. This is the final question. We'll go into the next 3 cards and then we'll end with the closing oracle. Final question. Question 3 is, what does the energy exiting this full moon in Taurus feel like? And for this question, we got the card in the 7th position, which is the 2 of Swords. And 2 of Swords says that defensiveness may be highlighted coming out of this full moon in Taurus, and that defensiveness will keep us in fighting mode, and that it's important to come to a place where we can transmute being overly defensive into being action-oriented in other ways that support our purpose and our missions. To not be defensive in the wake of nurturing, loving, calming, healthy energy. Going into the next card, it is the 8th position, and the card is the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles says whether or not you find yourself organizing at this time, it's key to recognize that every single person has a role to play, and that just because your position may not look like your companions doesn't belittle, demean, or lessen the importance of the position you play, as it's all toward a harmonious result. There is capacity for establishing fortified foundations now. Each individual portion may only have this one opportunity to contribute our strength, and it's unsettling to receive a message like that And that's understandable because it is very finite. While aura, spirit, soul are infinite, the lived experience that we have in this existence, on this plane, on this world, is not. Many of us have painfully been reminded in these past few months of how true and how devastating that can be. And that is. For the ninth position, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. And this is about breaking out of restraints that have failed understandings or visions in some way up until this point. Freedom can taste sweet. It's important to recognize that each of our individual worth is valid and necessary, and the power of collective engagement is an incredible force. Before the closing oracle, there is a bottom of the deck message. So the bottom of the deck energy is shown by the Five of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. And the overall energy here is to work on discontinuing, pouring into non-nourishing aspects of life. To even beyond work on, just come to a place of understanding of where we're pouring into that is not nourishing for us. Just in the same token as the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sometimes if it is broke, we need to leave it where it is in order to preserve our energy and our passions. Taking a break, like I said earlier, or taking a few steps back is the best to do in a situation. I'm not suggesting that will be the case for everyone, but if it is for you and you resonate with it, know that you are valid. You taking your time, taking a step back is necessary for progress, and that you are appreciated. The closing oracle is amazing, in my opinion. It is authority, number 10. And the oracle reads, the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And I think that definitely aligns with the energy that's been in this reading. It's really about taking authority of our lives at the end of the day, so that as a collective we can move in a more structured, stable, unanimous,
and balanced experience of this reality.
I hope that these insights serve you well, whoever is listening, and thank you so much for listening. Incredibly divine angelite. You divine. Remember to be love, stay light, and that you got this. And with the message like the one for the full moon in Taurus, you absolutely got this.